Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle DeTeach, or Coach Danny D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas, and I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danny D, always here trying to help women, entrepreneurs, professional women to find that space of work-life balance so that you can work with ease. And that really falls right into the topic for today, which is finding balance in your life. So I want to introduce you guys to Frances Love Harris. She is the founder and CEO of Peace of Serenity Massage and Wellness, and has been instrumental in offering massage therapy and wellness services. She is located in Harvey. So for our local listeners, she is right there in Harvey, and don't act like it's not far. You can get on that bridge and get right on over there and relax yourself away. While she also provides wellness services to businesses during conventions, festivals, and in the workplace as employee wellness benefits. And that is like phenomenal, Francis, because we need it. We need it. Sitting at the job, sitting at the desk, we need those services to keep us working. With a career spanning several years, Frances has held the title of a licensed and certified massage therapist since 2016. Her unwavering commitment to excellence is evident as she consistently refines her skills, incorporating various modalities into her repertoire to provide the utmost quality service and service to her esteemed clients. So welcome, Frances. I'm so happy to have you on the podcast, and oh my God, wellness, wellness and a massage and just,
Yes, yes,
taking care of ourselves.
yes, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Thank you so much for having me, Coach D. I am so happy to be a part of this conversation with you today. Like I told you before, I've seen quite a few of your podcasts, and to be here today is completely an honor. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. I told you when I asked you, it's always a God moment. Like God will just say the words come out before I even hear them come out, because he knows who we need to hear from, who is going to bring that wisdom and that energy to the audience. So I'm excited.
that's all
So
alignment. Yes,
yes,
that's big
alignment.
alignment.
Yes.
Yes. Hmm.
That is a key word over here, alignment.
Yes.
So I always like to know how people became entrepreneurs. So tell me about your entrepreneurial journey.
Okay. So, it definitely started as a kid for me. So my grandmother, my father's mother, she was an educator. She was a teacher. So she was the education,
Mhm.
I want to say 30, 40 plus years. And she opened up her own nursery.
Okay.
So honestly, through me self-discovery of myself, I realized this was the connection not too many years ago. So let me not act like I knew this was the connection my entire life. But it actually started watching her, you know what I mean? Like having her own business, facilitating her own business, having her team. She educated and taught them how she wanted them to connect with the kids. She had a true passion for children and especially education. So watching her as a young kid, I went to her nursery as a kid, and let
Mhm.
me tell you, I was not favored. Okay, strict. Listen, you're gonna read these letters. I mean, you're gonna tell me these letters. You're gonna read.
Right.
Okay, so
We're not
we did
playing
not
games
play.
over here.
Huh? None. None at all. Okay, that's that old school. Well,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
So, but that's originally where it started, like just watching her as a kid. And I got into leadership at early on in my early 20s in the hospitality industry. So I knew early on I wanted to own a business. I just didn't know what at the time. So for me, when I graduated from high school, that's when I received a gift card to a spa. First time, did not grow up going to a spa or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that, but the experience was just amazing. Okay, like the
Right.
smell, the aromatherapy, the music, how they cater to you. That experience was just nothing I have experienced before. Okay, and then when I received the massage, I paid attention to everything, every technique. It
Mm-hmm.
was my first time receiving a massage, and I was like, okay, I gotta try this, right? So, but at the time, I was in college and I was working at my first job at Harris, and I worked my way up. So I'm telling you two different things at one time.
No,
That's how my
no,
mind.
I'm following.
But but that's just how it works. So that was my high school graduation gift at the spa. I was in college. I was working at the front desk at Harris. And I just worked my way up. I just worked my way up to leadership. And then I had another job after that. So about 10 years I worked as a manager in my early 20s. And that's why I learned, like, okay, I really enjoy managing. I really enjoy the leadership role. I learned a lot of the back end, how to communicate and engage with employees, how to understand the finances and the P&Ls on the back end, and
Mm-hmm.
pretty much how to manage a business.
Right, right,
Because yeah, essentially, when you're a manager, that's your department is your business,
right.
because you're responsible and you have to
Right.
answer why numbers aren't aligning, what's going on, productivity. You have to have answers for all of that. But my passion, massage, and I'm still massaging in between that, family, friends, and I
Mm-hmm.
ended up going to school for massage therapy while I was in leadership and in the hospitality industry. And then once I received that license,
That was it.
that was it. It was no turning back from there. So that was 2016, and here we are.
It's an amazing story, and I love how you talked about how you had the background in corporate and then you brought it over into your own business, because a lot of times people don't realize how important that foundation is.
Oh, it matters. It matters. I
Because oh, go ahead.
No, I was just to piggyback on what you were saying. Like that was the foundation for me. That was the foundation for me. Understanding how to actually manage a department essentially taught me how to manage a business. Even from the customer service, training, and development, all of that is included within that through my journey, and it definitely helps me today on being an entrepreneur running my businesses now.
No, yeah, I totally agree with that. I think a lot of times we have a passion, right?
Yeah.
I like this thing.
Hmm.
And we think, okay, I'm just gonna leap out and I'm gonna do this thing. But when you don't have that background you might be really, really good at that thing, but you also either have to be really, really good at business too, or hire for where you're weak. But
Absolutely.
I love how spoke about that, because a lot of times people don't think about those transferable
Yeah.
skills,
Hmm.
learning how to run a business so
Right.
that the business is not really running you.
Absolutely. It's so important. It's so important. And I love that you said you could even hire in the areas that you aren't as strong, because that even applies to me, even now with the business and the leadership background that I have, that still applies to me, especially with different areas in my business that I need assistance, but identifying what those areas are prior, because you have to learn as you grow sometimes.
Right, right,
But it makes a difference when you have experience in certain areas, and if not, you search for those opportunities so that you can grow in those areas and or hire in those
right.
areas as well, because you still want to understand what you have an idea of what you need to hire for and what it is that they should be bringing to the table, so to for the overall success of your business. But But yeah, but it's just about identifying where those areas of weakness or opportunities are so that you can develop them and grow as you continue on your journey. So
Yeah, and I think I like what you said about identifying what those areas are, because we are talking today about finding balance. And I think that that is a big part of finding that balance is when you know I'm not good at fill in the blank,
mhm.
because that thing that you are, trying to be, you want to be the big girl and you want to do all the things. And that thing that you sit up there struggling hard with, it might take somebody else 5 minutes to do it, might take you 5 weeks to do it.
Look
That's the
how
time that
unproductive that is. Yes,
that's the time
yes,
that you're looking for. When you say I don't have time,
yes.
that's what the
Yes.
time is.
That's where it went. That's exactly where it went. So you have to identify those areas. But you're absolutely right. Like you have to be able to identify what they are and then find someone who can assist in that area. So you could
Right.
focus your
Like
attention on other
raise
areas.
your hand and look, this is not my not my strong suit. And I've
Listen.
had people give pushback sometimes, like, I'm like, oh, I need somebody to do fill in the blank.
Hmm.
Oh girl, you could do that. You could don't pay nobody to do that. You could do no. Maybe I could, maybe I couldn't. I don't know, but I don't want to know because I know that there are people out there that already do that thing
That's right.
and
That's
do
right.
it well.
That's right. Don't waste time. You don't get that back.
Right. You can make more money, but you can't time is finite.
That is
You
yes.
can't get it back. And so
No.
sometimes it really is just, I'm gonna pay somebody to come in
Mhm.
and clean, or I'm gonna pay somebody to do the book so I can have a couple of more hours to myself. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's where that balance comes in. You have to figure out how to weigh that scale,
right,
mm,
right,
identifying and compartmentalizing. So all of that makes a difference in getting balance. That's the first step. Identify your areas of opportunities. Step
absolutely,
one.
absolutely. Because we just say we don't have time, we don't have time, and I'm like, if you ever sit down and look at what you're spending your time on,
Hmm.
I'm like, it's there sometimes. Sometimes it's you got to make some tough decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Maybe you don't have to go to every event that you're invited to.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
I mean,
That is
because people feel like, it's something that I'm like learning at this ripe old age, but people
a
feel like I'm going, I'm gonna lose a friend, or I'm gonna do, like if I don't go to fill in the blank. And it's like, you cannot possibly go to everything for
no.
everybody.
No, no. I
And
mean,
they
and
have lives too, so they should know that.
that's what I was about to say. Like that's where those boundaries come in. But if these are other entrepreneurs or just people who have everyday lives, they should be able to understand. Okay, everyone that I'm connected to will not be able to attend this event that I'm either hosting or facilitating, whatever the case may be. That definitely should be some level of understanding there. It's just communication. I mean, that's the best piece. Communicate. Listen, I won't be able to make it. You know,
The end.
it's as simple as that. Exactly. So
But yeah, I think it's just removing that guilt from
that's what it is.
the situation, because you feel like, well, if I'm not there, I'm not a good friend, or if I'm not there,
That's what it
and,
is.
honestly, it's like if our friendship is based on how many events I attend,
What is that really called, though? Is
what
that?
is, you know what I'm saying? What is
Yeah.
that relationship boiled down to? Because
Yeah.
at some point you're sacrificing yourself to please someone else, and that's not a healthy relationship.
Relationship. Not now. Hmm.
Of course sometimes we have to give a little more in a friendship, and sometimes the other friend gives a little more,
Hmm.
but it shouldn't be like, oh my God, you're not, people go on these tirades, nobody ever shows up for me, and those
Well,
type of
it's time to
responses.
reevaluate. It's time to reevaluate those
Right.
relationships.
Right. You
It's
gotta
time.
kind of, and you gotta look at yourself sometime in the mirror too. Like, how are you rating relationship?
Yeah. Yep.
Because, everybody can't be there for everything,
No,
but
not at all.
who's there when it matters?
That's right. That's right. You couldn't have said
Because
it better. That's right.
you
Like
could,
that's what counts. That's what
that's
counts.
what counts. Like, if something happens and I'm stranded on the side of the road, I'm more concerned about somebody showing up for me in that moment
In the time of need. That's right.
than
That's what matters. Like
than
that's
anything
that
else. And so I
yeah.
think, we have to we got to look at things a lot differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like internally, externally, just start reevaluating. Okay, is this like for me when I think about balance, my starting point is what where am I trying to go in life, right?
Yeah.
What is my objective?
Mm-hmm.
And then are these things connected to that? Or, you said the word earlier, alignment. Is this aligned with where I'm trying to go?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like what back to identification too. Identifying what, like you said, my objectives, my purpose, what are my goals, what are the things that I'm trying to accomplish, and being in alignment with that. Being in alignment with that. And then you take the steps from there while being balanced at the same time. Because
Right.
when you start thinking about too much, all of the steps that you have to take to get to that objective, then you can become overwhelmed and then you lose that balance again.
Right.
So having different routines or different affirmations or prayers in place, you know,
Yeah.
so that you'll be able to remain balanced while staying on path and on track with your actual purpose in life. So all of that is important.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with that. And I think also, I think a lot of times when we think about goals, we only think about our professional goals.
Right.
And
It's a
we
lot.
tend not to think about our personal goals, our, relationship goals. And that's all
Mhm.
relationships, not just romantic relationships.
Right.
And we look at those things separately and we try to give 100% to each of those things instead
Hmm.
of looking at them. um you know I recently started thinking about it, like, I got a child and we got to do these school projects all the time, the rubrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that rubrics that tells you, okay, this is how you get an A. You
Right.
gotta, you get this many points for this and that many points for that. And
It
but
breaks it
in
down.
that rubrics, it makes you pull all the pieces together instead of looking
Mm.
at it like, well, if I answer all the questions right, you could answer all the questions right, but you still not gonna get that A if you didn't do the creativity piece and you
Yeah,
didn't do the, those
that's right.
other pieces.
That's right. It's so many different pieces to that puzzle, but being able, you do a little bit here, you do some there, you do some there. And like you mentioned as well with the relationships. Like a relationship is a relationship, no matter what type of relationship it is, but making sure that you cover, you know, checking off the boxes, you know what I mean? Staying aligned with the overall goal to get that A, to accomplish that goal, you
Right.
know? So it makes so much sense. I love that. I love that analogy.
So if you were, talking to somebody about how, like, what are the best ways you would think of to reach that balance? Because some people don't even believe in it. I am a believer, but some people are like, "Oh, there's no such thing as balance," and I'm like, I mean, if that's what you believe, then that's gonna be the answer.
Right. Right. I mean, mindset is definitely a big piece of that entire puzzle, the way that you think. But um it like pretty much was similar to what I just mentioned as far as like having a routine, having a routine in place, and to stay on track, like to stay on track with your, because sometimes we get a bit like being overwhelmed, you start to feel emotional, you start to feel stressed, you feel that anxiety. So it's so good to have different routines in place so that you can continue to move forward. Um, like I mentioned with the prayer, having a good book, that you can connect to, that can, because I'm actually reading a book right now by Rachel Rogers, and
I
I don't
love
know if you heard.
her.
Yes, so do
I love
I.
her.
So do I. So like reading different things like that that'll keep you motivated,
Mm-hmm.
And she also talks about mindset in the book,
Mm-hmm. Which one are
what
you
type of,
reading?
what is the name? Oh God, hold up. Oh shoot, it's over there. Uh what is the name of the $1 million?
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about. I
It's
can't think of
right
the
there.
name.
I forgive
That's
me for
okay. I
not
know
thinking. It's right.
exactly what you're talking about.
I want to
I'll
get
put,
it.
look, I will put it in the show notes so that they can go and
Yes.
find it. But I know what you're talking about. But I love her, and I love the mindset work that she.
$1 million mindset. I think that's the
Yes, I
name
think
of
that
it.
that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah. Because one of them is a little bit shorter, but I actually actually a friend of mine uh surprised me with sending me the second book. That's why I can't think of the actual name of it right now, but I believe it's $1 million mindset.
I think that
But
that's
yes.
it.
But yeah, but having things like that can help you stay motivated and
Yeah.
aligning yourself with people who are in a place where, I mean, that they achieve their goals, what's their story? How did they do it, and being able to, and that have relatable stories that you can relate to. All of that makes a difference because all of us wasn't just born with, living in a certain lifestyle or living a certain way, and like you said, it doesn't always have to be professional. Just finding that peace, finding that joy, finding that happiness, finding your purpose. You know what I mean? But being able to connect and align yourself with people that has relatable stories and a relatable context to where you can connect with that to keep you grounded and to keep you in a peaceful place along the way. You know what I mean? And identifying what it is that you want to do. Like what is it? What do you feel like your purpose is? I mean, my belief is that God, I believe in my Lord, and I just feel like we all were born with gifts. We were all
Hmm.
born with talents that was instilled in us from birth. And a lot of times the things that pique your interest, a lot of times what your purpose or that aligns with your purpose or aligns with your gift, because you'll automatically have that passion.
Hmm.
So you focus on that. What makes you happy? What is your passion? And I mean, you research, you read different things that connects with that because you're gonna find happiness reading about it or being in those spaces anyway. And I'm a big person that's connected with nature. So I get a peace
Yes.
of mind when I'm near a body of water. It doesn't have to be a specific kind. It could be the lake, it could be the river, it doesn't matter. Even our Mississippi River, it doesn't matter. It's the sounds. It's the sounds for me, okay?
No, I get that though. Like I do. I feel like, all of it. I love connecting with nature. Usually if I'm, kind of in a funk or something, I just feel off. I will just go like something as simple as just going sit outside on the patio. Like I will
Yeah,
just go sit outside and
that's
that will
fine.
change my energy.
Mhm,
Um, I totally believe, that God has a purpose in all of us. And
mhm,
I believe that, it's for us to really tap into that
mhm,
and be obedient to that. And sometimes that's the thing that we run from the most,
mhm,
is that thing that is like, it's like it excites us and scares us at the same time.
mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah,
so, but that's the space that we're supposed to be in. And, I tell people, I said, one thing that you should do is make sure every day you're doing something connected to your purpose.
yeah.
And
Big
it
or
don't
small.
have to be huge.
That's right. That's
But
right.
just something because it'll keep you ignited. It
Mhm,
will keep you, focused. I mean,
Mhm.
like even today, like my energy was off today.
Mhm.
But I knew I had this interview today. And so I was just like, man, my energy is off. But then I was like, no, you're gonna feel better after you sit and have this conversation. So just
Yes, I love that.
do what you got to do to get to there,
Mhm.
because you're going to feel better afterwards. And so
Mhm.
I think about it like when you go work out, like you don't be wanting to go, but you get, you get that rush afterwards.
Yeah,
You feel so proud of yourself, you feel good, you feel
accomplished.
better.
Yes. Yeah.
But sometimes it takes a little bit to get you there. But
Yeah.
it's, I think that keeping that purpose at your forefront,
Mhm.
and that overall, purpose, not just the work part, but all of it, I do think it helps you get to balance, because the other stuff starts not to matter as much.
That's true. And sometimes, and like you said about how you were feeling, even though you knew at that, and like you can look ahead and say, okay, well, later I know I'm doing this and this is going to make me feel better. But then also in the moment, realizing that it's okay to feel those, however you want to identify them, negative, derogatory feelings, um, tension or stress, or however we want to identify that. Allow yourself to feel your feelings in the moment,
Right.
because sometimes you can make it worse when you try to fight against it. No, just
Yes.
be. Because you now you're gonna feel like a battle, like a battle within yourself, So, and you don't want to do that because that can make it worse. So you want to just feel your feelings in the moment. And it's this meditation, Justin Williams. I listen to him as well, and he has one of his meditations is feel your feelings. That's really where I get that from. And when I tell you, after I listen to it, you might be in tears, but that's okay. That
No,
is
it's all a
okay.
part of the
It's
range
releasing. Yeah.
of
And
emotions. Like my thing is, feel your feelings, just don't live there.
that's right. You cannot stay there. You cannot. You cannot. That is the key. You cannot.
It's like I'm a look, all right, I'm gonna go through what I gotta go through, but then I'm gonna dust myself off, and
That's right.
I can't live there, because I have other things that I gotta,
Your plate is full.
I got
Your
other
plate
things I
is
gotta
full.
do. So I can't live there. But
No.
I love you saying that though, to feel them, because
Mhm.
I think that the thing that I see the most when I'm working with clients is that people feel like however they feel, they're the only person
That's
that
true.
feels that way.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we don't talk about the not so good feelings. We don't
Yeah.
talk about the times when you just like, you know what, I don't even want to do this no more. I quit.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that part. And so
Yeah.
because we don't talk about it, they think of everybody else just walking around bopping and smiling, and they're feeling this full range of emotions, and they feel
Yeah.
like something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, and I do feel like that's something that we should talk about a lot more often. One of the posts I made, I mean, I believe it was last year at this point, was talking about trying to normalize um, feeling how I was feeling in a particular moment, but allow myself to have that release. And then you feel so much better anyway, because that's something
Mhm.
that you need. That's something that I needed at that time. And sometimes you feel like, okay, well, why do I even feel this way? Sometimes
Right.
you can have great things going on. And it's just like it's just a moment that needs to happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely okay. And then another thing, not only feeling your feelings, it's good to have that support system too. Or having that circle of people that can support you when you have these feelings, or just to have that person who you feel comfortable with opening up to be able. That's another release to have as well. It's good to have a great support system, or that circle. I like to call it a sister circle,
Yeah.
whether you meet once a week, once a month, however often that's most convenient for your schedules, but you need that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think making sure as you are growing and healing, you are building a circle that reflects that growth.
Mm. Yes. Yes.
Because sometimes we're not in healthy space. Like you,
Mhm.
imagine you got, you have a cold or infection or something like that, and then you go to the doctor, they give you medicine, they getting you on that healing journey, and you still sitting in the place where you got the cold. Like sometimes
Listen.
that's what's happening too. Like it's the people around you are
Yes.
not beneficial to your health and healing.
Yes. Yes. You and these analogies, I love them.
I'm
Okay.
an analogy girl.
I see that. Like that
That's
is
how my
perfect.
brain
Well said. Well said.
That's how my
That is
brain
perfect.
processes things. So so I am an
I
analogy
love it.
girl.
I love it. I see that. It's like natural. I'm like, okay, that's perfect. Like, yes, like you painted that picture perfectly. But that's exactly right. Like, why would you be in that space if you know that's where it originated from? So no, that's not. You have to make wise decisions and having that discernment. So that makes that's a part of the process as well. It is.
Yeah. And I love how you said like the sister circle, because yeah, that circle, oh Jesus.
Mhm.
Like every once in a while, I'll just send a text like, man, like I love y'all. Like just
Mhm.
that's the whole text, because
And it speaks about.
sometimes those are the people that help you make it through in those moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, and sometimes they don't even know they're helping you to make it through. That's the funny part, but it's just you know, like I can remember when my grandmother was, sick when she was in the hospital and everything, and I have this like group that I'm in on Facebook, and they just always are in there like laughing, joking, what have you. Now we talk about serious stuff sometimes too, but in that moment, I didn't want to talk about that stuff. I didn't want to talk
Mhm.
about what was happening. I
Mhm.
needed a distraction in my mind from what was happening. And it wasn't until, much later that I came back and I was like, y'all just don't know. Like, y'all got me through some very tough
Look at
moments
that. Mhm.
just being there, just being,
Mhm.
being there and being yourselves just
I love
was
that. I love
enough. But you
that.
gotta build those, and I
Relation.
know, social media and reality TV tries to make us think that those relationships don't exist,
Mhm. Yeah.
but they are out there. You just
They
have
are.
to cultivate them.
That's right. That's right. And having, that discernment of understanding who do you have that connection with? Who can you be vulnerable with? Who can you share personal information with, and the type of feedback or the type of response that you get, you know what I mean, even the
Mhm.
tone and the way that it makes you feel on those responses. I mean, it's everything. You have to be mindful of that. And when you do make that connection and you cultivate, like you mentioned, those relationships, they carry you through some very tough times, and even the celebratory moments as well.
Right.
When there's something to celebrate, you have those that's cheering you in your corner. Like that makes a world of a difference, because a lot of people don't have that either. you know
No, no, you like it's sad. Like I was talking to some college students, and they were struggling with the fact that, and I had to kind of balance both sides of it, because sometimes people can't be that for you because they're not even that for themselves, right? And
Mhm.
so it's not out of malice, it's just they don't have the capacity.
Yep.
And some of the young girls, they were first generation college students, and so it was
Mhm.
only so much that the family could provide as support, because
Mhm.
they'd never been through that before. And so,
Right.
I was
Right.
talking to them about building that community, and
Yeah.
that sometimes it may not be your mom or your, grandma, or whomever, not because they don't love you, but because they just don't have what you need in that moment.
Yep. Yeah.
But there
So
are other
true.
places that you can find it. But it was just sad listening to these girls feeling like they didn't have anybody to really celebrate that,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's very hard. That's very hard to accept that because you have to juggle with so many different emotions going through that process.
Yes.
Like thinking that your family doesn't want to celebrate you, or no telling what path your thoughts will take you
Right.
when you're in that space.
Right.
But I mean, I'm happy that you were there and they had the support to give them direction on where to go with that. But I mean, that's just a tough space. I mean, people deal with that in many different capacities, whether it's professional, whether it's personal, just when you don't have someone who truly understands or can truly relate to whatever it is that you're experiencing at that time. And it's tough when you feel like you don't have that support system or someone who can truly understand. I mean, I've heard people say, well, I have pockets of friends. Like I have the professional friends or the entrepreneurial friends because they understand what it is to be an entrepreneur. Then I have the mom group, you know what I mean, with
Mhm.
small
Yeah.
children. You know what I mean? Because that's the people you can relate to for different things. I haven't actually experienced that, but I've heard just as an example of others that just try to create circles based on different aspects of their life. To have the support system, to have the go-to people, a person that they need when they're experiencing certain things within their lives. So, but for those kids, well, those college students, I mean, and then they're young, so it's so much that they're still learning and growing and developing while still looking for that support. So that's great that
Right.
they have or building that community because you need that. You need those who can truly understand and relate and give you advice that truly can help benefit you to the next step or to get you through some tough times. So that's unfortunate, but fortunate at the same time. So I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a learning, like I do have like certain pockets of
Mm,
friends. Like I have some friends that are just like core friends, and it just,
yeah.
I could probably talk to them about just about anything. But then if it comes to a certain thing, like I'm gonna think to talk to this person
Well,
versus,
yes, I get
you
that
know,
individually. Yeah.
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 So I do have that, and I do have. I mean, as you go on this growth journey,
Mhm.
people fall into different roles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That,
I'm learning that too.
unfortunately, people
Mhm.
who you may be close to, but they may fall into different roles because y'all are in two different places now.
Yeah.
And so it's not like, I mean, I know some people just like, throw them all away or whatever. I don't think you have to go to that extreme. For
Mhm.
me, you know, you have to have violated something for me to be, like, all right, we done. Like, it's not
Yeah.
just that we're in different places. We can still be cool,
Mhm.
but our conversation might be different. Like, I
Yeah.
might not get into the depths of my soul with you if I don't feel like you understand
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
coming from. Um, so I think you have to think about that as well. Sometimes relationships will change. Like somebody might just always be your club friend. Like
Mhm.
they might not have anything, really to bring to the table on a different conversation.
Yeah.
Or they might be a really good person and you enjoy, hanging out with them. You like them for what you like them for. So
Right. Yeah.
I
Yes.
think we like, especially even when it comes to time too, we got to think about everybody can't be your best friend that you do everything with. Like,
No.
we talking about balance. You can't
No. Mm-mm.
that
Can't do
you will wear yourself out. I mean, every weekend somebody get married or having a baby
or something.
or
Yes.
something.
Yes. And then it's festival season right now too. It's always something that's going on in this
Right.
in this season. But definitely being mindful and understanding how to compartmentalize and how to be strategic with your own schedule. Personal and professional time is important. So I 100% understand, and I can identify greatly with having individuals. For me, it would be individuals that I would reach out to for specific reasons. And honestly, the way that my relationships are set up, like I do have like my circle, I have a circle as well. I don't have a huge circle. I have like a very intimate circle. And and a lot of times the conversations cover because we're in the same similar path. Let me say that similar
Mm-hmm.
path, being a mom, having young children, an entrepreneur, navigating and growing our businesses. Just it's so many things that we can bounce off of personally and professionally. So that's just how it is for me. But I have individuals that I can reach out to if there's an area that I'm uncertain of, that I
Yeah.
have questions, you know what I mean, that I can reach out to. So it's definitely important to be able to have people for different areas of your life so that you can grow and develop in a way that aligns with your purpose for sure. And understanding who those people are
Yeah.
is extremely important. But yeah, but uh but yeah, but I think that just being mindful, just being mindful and making sure that, back to the whole point about the balance, is just having the right people to stay on track and to have fulfillment and to be balanced at the same time along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yes. Like, old folks will say, where you spend your time, will show up. Like as far as like, when you have friends, like they say, if you hang out with this crowd, you're going, you start to acclimate to what's going
Yeah,
on there. And so,
yeah.
you really, I mean, not in the sense of like judgment or anything like that, but just from the standpoint of, if you are trying to go in one direction and you got a group of friends that's not even on their radar, and it doesn't have to be the same thing, like you may have a business, they may have a career, but if y'all both are moving forward, as opposed to you got a whole bunch of friends and they not moving at all and you moving.
Mm, yeah. You're gonna feel the constraints anyway. You're gonna
Yeah,
feel it. You're going to feel it. But that's when it's time to make those decisions. What is best for me in this moment?
right,
What is best for me overall? And like you mentioned, you don't have to cut them off completely. And through my journey, that's something that I had to learn personally. Um but being able to either create distance or put you in an area where that benefits both of us, because the
right,
last thing I want is to try to have a conversation with you about business and put you in an uncomfortable
right,
situation
right,
where you can't even give me the advice or the responses that I may need at that time, because that's not your area of expertise.
right,
So, and you don't want to conform either, when you were talking about, like, not being judgmental, but we're just moving in different directions. And I don't want to conform. I don't want to feel like, I'm not growing, I'm
right,
not evolving. So that means that, okay, at that point, well, now we need to have maybe a little distance. And when I'm ready for a social night or social life or whatever it is that we connect with, then when that's a good time for me, then we can, socialize or talk or hang out at that moment.
right,
But you have to focus on what your purpose is, and you have to focus on what you can do in that moment to walk, like you said with the rubric. You are focusing on these areas to get to where I need to be.
right.
All of that plays a major role in moving forward.
Right, right. And yeah, and I mean, some things, you might water a little bit more than other things, and it just kind of is what it is. It becomes what it becomes. Like, like I said, I have my core group of friends. I got, people that's kind of like outside of that, that we cool, but we
Hmm.
may not spend as much time together just because it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, and then, like for me, as far as the pockets, so I got, I have the two different businesses. I have my balloon friends,
Yeah,
and
I
then I
remember you telling
have
me about
my
that.
my coaching friends.
Uh,
So that's like two just different pockets
Two
about
different worlds.
different
Hmm.
worlds, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
about different things. But
Yeah.
again, it's, it needs to be mutual. I think a lot
Hmm.
of times we have these one-sided relationships where we are doing so much work to maintain a relationship, but if you're not getting poured into the same way that you're pouring,
Hmm.
then we might want to reevaluate some things and maybe, pull some of our time back because we're trying to balance. So we're trying to get as much of our time focused on the things that matter to us the most.
You want to maximize it. Yes. You
Yes.
want to maximize that time. Yes. Yep. So that reevaluation part is important. Yes. So you couldn't have said that better. I love that. I love it.
So let's talk about, I know when we did our pre-interview, we talked about joy and
Mm,
finding joy. And that's one of my favorite things. Like, I feel like, when I sit and think about both things that I do, they're surrounded by helping people find joy.
mhm.
So when you think about joy and finding joy, like what comes to mind? What are some things that you would, advise people as they're trying to get to that space?
Oh, I felt it. Like even when you said that, I got the
Yo,
chills.
I saw the smile. I saw the smile.
Yes, because it's just like why? I mean, what other place is there to be? And honestly, joy looks different for everyone. You know what I mean? We all have different things. We all have different activities, events, peaceful. Whether it's interaction or just uh being in solitude. I mean, it looks so much different for everyone. And honestly, even for me, sometimes I say if someone asks me a question sometimes, I can't think about all of the things in that moment, what will bring me joy or happiness. But and that may happen for other people. Like you may, if I ask you right now, okay, well, what are things that bring you joy? You may not be able to think about it. And my point is that's why when you have your everyday, when you're going through your day to day, what pockets or what's something that happened that just was like, oh, I want to do that, or oh, I wish I was doing that, or oh, I need to make time to do it. So even if it's going on a vacation, even if it's just writing, I love to journal. I love to write down my thoughts. And honestly, it sounded to me cliche when you say that, but when you really do it, when you just really, even if
Mhm.
it's like writing a letter to yourself, even if it's like writing a letter to your future self, even if it's writing a letter to your younger self, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's so therapeutic, So whether it's journaling, I mentioned earlier about meditation, I mentioned earlier about reading, I mentioned earlier about nature, just sitting in the sun.
Mhm.
Okay, like I love to be by water, but I also love the sun. So if you give me both, I am a very
Girl.
joyful person.
Look, we can hang out. We can hang out.
Yes, yes, like I love
'Cause
my
look, you
thing
put me on somebody beach and
is
it's all said and done. Like I could just
yes,
lay on the beach like
yes, yes,
endlessly, like
yes. I love
and
it.
listen to the water.
I'm
Like
with you.
don't nobody have to say nothing to me. Like
No,
just
nothing.
just let me sit here and listen to the water and
Yes,
just be.
yes, yes. Like that, you can't beat that. Like that's paradise for me. Like that is paradise. And I'm a massage therapist, right? So I love the spa. So that's the other thing for me. So I mean, people used to say all the time, Francis is just like an old woman. Since I was a kid, I just love. Nah, don't get me wrong. I was an active kid, but let me say middle school, high school. Like I just love to be in a relaxed state, or just in a
Mhm.
relaxed state of mind. I
Mhm.
love even to the music I used to listen to. And my friends get in the car with me as a teenager. What are you listening to? Like, what is this?
I look,
Like it
I totally get it. Like how people will talk about like they young days and they clubbing days, and I'm like, I don't have them days. Like I was just like
yes.
like, I feel like I was just a grown up, like, already,
Came here grown.
that's just the stuff that I like. I always like things like calm. I always like, just that relaxing vibe.
Yeah.
But, but I think what I like about what you said is like, it's different. It's different for everybody. And I think the problem is everybody try to squeeze themselves into what other people says that it's supposed to look like, right? And just explore, like try to figure
Yeah.
out what you enjoy. It might be something real crazy that you never would have thought of
Yeah.
until you did it. And then you're like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But just try different things. Go,
Yeah.
go on. I don't know if Groupon is still a thing, but go on Groupon and just, find a little
Mhm.
activity and go try it and see if
Yep,
you
try the
like it.
things. Try, yes. You have to search for where is your joy? What is your joy? You have to find it, or just pay attention to your day to day, or something that piqued your interest. You go try it. You know what I mean? Like you said, like if it's something that they noticed on TV, or someone else was talking about that they did, and what type of, experience they had. Okay, well, go on Groupon, see. Is this something I could try? There we go. I don't have to spend a whole lot of money to try something for the first time. You know what
Right.
I
And
mean?
see
So,
see
yes.
how you feel about it. And don't worry about what's trending. I think, like
Mhm.
we get caught up in like, I'm supposed to like this. They got a whole bunch of things that a lot of people like that I'm just like,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
like
I
that don't
understand.
interest me. And that's
Yeah.
and that's cool because
Mhm.
we are unique individuals. And once you find that thing, like, when I said the word joy, Francis, that smile that hit your face. Like, once you find that
Yes.
thing that
Mhm.
makes you smile inside, and maybe even smile outside, but like
Yeah.
that thing that just you enjoy doing, and it doesn't matter. It really
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like, if it makes sense to anybody else, it doesn't matter if it's silly too. It probably will be silly.
Listen, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, when you feel that joy, that's what matters. Honestly,
Yes.
no matter what you're feeling, you are the one that has to feel that. So
Yes.
if you're gonna dictate the type of experience you have with joy, are you going to, or even if it's the opposite feeling, my point I'm making is no one else is going to feel that feeling but you. So why not find activities, silly or not, that brings you joy? You
Right.
know, right? I mean, if I could just live on the beach, I would. I
Look.
would. I absolutely would.
Look.
Listen, I'm looking forward
Every
to that.
day, just sitting out there,
Yes.
look, a book, a
Yes.
cocktail, whatever, it don't matter,
Something.
just mix it
Okay.
up, just
Yes,
give
ma'am.
me a little lounge chair and
Yes.
just
I'll
leave
be
me
right
be.
out there with you. We don't have to say a word. Just
Don't
lay
have to
there.
say nothing, just leave me be.
Yes.
Bring me a
Yes.
snack eventually,
Yes.
like, that's it.
Yes. That's joy for me.
That's
That's the
it, like, yesterday, I have this little tea set. I like tea and I like, tea sets and like I just like ridiculousness. And like I sat and had tea with my little tea set and you couldn't have told me nothing. I was just
Mm. Okay.
I had bought some little cookies and I put on
Mhm.
a little
A
tray and
whole little
everything.
situation.
I'm
Yes.
telling you, you couldn't have told me nothing. I didn't
Yes,
need nobody else to be there, experience it with me, nothing. It
that's
just
right.
was something that brought me joy. And,
So
I think that's a big part of that balance is like being able to find joy in everyday
mhm,
things as well. Because we feel like joy is for a special occasion, like, oh,
mhm.
for my birthday, I'm gonna be joyous. But you should have joy every day. Like,
That's right. That's right. That's right. You gotta find it. You have to find it. You have to find it on a daily basis.
and
You have to find
it don't have to be big.
it.
Like,
Mhm.
I went
Mhm.
to a conference. This lady handed me a pen, and the pen changed colors when you write. And I was like, ma'am, ma'am, I know you didn't
Mhm.
just give me this pen. And then I went to give it back to her when I was leaving, and she said, "Oh no, you could keep," ma'am.
She done made your whole day.
Made my whole entire day,
There we go. Yes,
ma'am.
the
Because
smallest thing.
I love office supplies. That
Mhm.
might sound silly to the next person, but I love like a good pen.
Mhm.
Um, I have these black post-it notes that you write on
Yeah,
with like the
I'm like
gel.
that. Yes, I'm like that with journals. Like, I love the cute little books. I would have a plethora of them. Like, I really do. So
Girl,
I
I
get it.
have so many notebooks and journals, and like as
Yes,
much as I'm a tech girl, I like to write on
yeah,
paper. Like
that's good. Yeah, I'm the same.
I love, it's something about it
Mhm,
is different to
mhm,
like,
mhm.
have that contact with the paper.
Yeah,
But I enjoy that. And
yeah, yeah. It's
you know,
therapeutic. It is.
and it doesn't have to be deep. I think sometimes people think that they can't afford to, what it don't even have to be something that costs
Mm,
money.
no,
It could
no.
be, it could be the simplest of things, but it's the little things that bring us joy every day, and we deserve joy.
Yeah, we do. We do. And we have to know that. We have to know that we deserve that. We have to know that we deserve to be to live with it, like allowing joy to live within us.
Yes.
Being able to feel like, you know what, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have joy. I deserve to be at peace. You know what I mean? You
Yes.
do. We all
Yes.
we all deserve that. No matter what
Yes.
you're going through, no matter what you may have done, may not have done, whatever it is, knowing that you deserve that.
Yes.
Like we have all these different um like with Nate, like the sun, the water, we have all these different things that's placed on this earth for us to enjoy. It's placed here for us. You know
Yes.
what I mean? For us
Yes.
to enjoy. So you
Yes.
find where
Absolutely.
that joy is, and like you said, the smallest things, a pen that writes in different colors, you
That's
know?
it. That was it. You
So
couldn't have told me nothing all
yes.
day.
You still have that pen, you still have that pen,
I
Coach T?
do. I do. I do. I absolutely do.
Stop thinking more.
But it's just that's the thing. You gotta find those
Mhm,
things that like, that make you smile. Like I was
mhm,
telling somebody one time, like the flowers that are behind me. So I was in Michael's and I was just like, they just made me smile. And so
mm.
I bought them and I have them in here. I have some in my bathroom. So like when I go and like if I get in the tub and take a soak, then I got my flowers and they make me smile, they make me
There we go.
happy.
There we go.
And it's just little things that,
Yeah.
make you happy, and it may be ridiculous to the next person, and who cares?
Who cares?
If they
Who
was
cares?
busy trying to figure out what brought them joy, they wouldn't care what brought you joy.
That's right. That's right. That's why that's personal. That is a person. That is a personal
It's a
thing.
personal thing.
You find out where your joy is, and you connect with that on a daily basis. So big or small, for
Right.
sure.
Yes. We team joy. We going
Yes,
we are
definitely. We're
you look,
definitely
we're
on the same
calling you
page.
to go just go sit and think about it for a while.
Yeah.
Like what are
Yeah.
those little things that you find yourself smiling about
Hmm. Yeah.
and doing more?
Hmm. Hmm. Make it a routine.
Yeah.
Make it a routine.
See
That's it.
how much joy you can add to a day. How about that?
I like it. I
Cause
like.
cause we cause that stress will pile up real fast. We ain't gotta work on that.
Yeah, that's no effort at all for that. At
Right.
all.
So let's try to push as much of that out as possible and pull in as much joy
Yeah.
that we can. Like that,
Mhm,
there's some stuff we just can't get rid of. It's gonna be there. But
mhm.
how many moments can we find joy?
Yeah. That's how you manage it. Focusing on the joy. Focusing on that.
Yes,
Focusing on gives you that feeling that you want more of, you know?
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So
So I'm gonna ask you one last big question before we wrap up.
okay.
And that's about the importance of being present.
Mm. Yes, I love that one too. So you will realize, it's so important to live in the moment and be mindful of things that brings you joy, or things that you can be grateful for in the moment, because we'll be so caught up in, like we talk about, that purpose, that goal, what we're trying to accomplish, but we miss out on all of the beautiful things that's right in front of us. And we're not taking the time to enjoy it. Joy, there go joy. Enjoy, even though I'm saying enjoy, but you don't get the time to truly
Yes.
enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because we're so caught up on where we're going, but that's where balance comes back into place as well. Because when you are balanced, you're giving yourself the opportunity to not only continue to do a little bit each day, to continue to move forward, to live in your purpose, to work on accomplishing your goal, but you're also able to enjoy the things that bring you happiness and be grateful, for the things that you do have and you can experience in that moment. Because if not, you'll miss your entire life. You
Oh,
really would.
oh goodness. That is just like so much in that short statement. But it's true because it's like I don't know if we even realize sometimes how much we're missing because we're constantly thinking about what's next.
Yeah, yeah.
And we never get to really feel right now.
Hmm. You have to be intentional. You have to
And
be.
yeah,
You
I
have.
mean, because the time gonna pass.
Hmm.
And I think sometimes we think it's about the destination,
Hmm.
but it's really more about the journey.
That's right. That is so true.
And we so, like you said, we thinking about getting there.
Hmm.
And it's so much stuff that's happening right now in front of
Hmm.
you every day. Like, you know, you talked about being a mom. Like, my child about to graduate high school in a couple of days. Next
I
week
understand.
he's about to
I
graduate high school, and I never felt like that time was going that fast, but it was.
Listen, my son just graduated from high school Thursday.
Oh
So I
goodness.
understand. I just had him
Jesus.
yesterday. What you mean you graduated from high school?
Right. Like I'm like, but the kids really do it to you because you realize like how fast that time passed because like you said, you just feel like it was like 5 minutes ago
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you were born.
Yeah.
And now, and then of course he gives me this Mother's Day card that says something to that effect. And I'm like, so you just want me to just ugly cry right here, right now? That's what we doing.
Not ugly cry.
I mean, because it
That's
was
when it's
like,
deep. That's when it's deep.
right.
Yes,
I'm like,
that's
it
when
said
it
something
touches
about
your
being in
soul.
Pampers and now I'm graduating. And I was like, what
Why would you
we doing?
say that?
Why are we doing this to me?
Why?
But
Yes,
it just that time passes.
it
And,
does.
I'm so grateful for, I didn't always, practice presence.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for that shift in my life
Mhm.
because even though the time went fast, it could have gone faster, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It could have gone faster. And so it's like knowing you can't redo
No, you don't get that.
life.
Mm-mm. You don't
So,
get that.
take those moments, even if because it's not the big moments that actually at the end of the day are gonna matter. It's all those little ones.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, it's all those little ones. And when those kids look back,
Yeah. Yeah.
we know we had to work and we know we had to do all these things that we couldn't be with them 24/7, right? But when they look back, let them have some moments,
Mhm. Memories.
some
Yeah.
memories where they
Mhm.
can say, you know what? Yeah, sometimes you might have had to work late, or sometimes, you went through seasons. We got busy seasons, but where they have those moments where they know when I was with you, I had your attention.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And, that's just something that, in more recent years, really like after I quit my full-time job, I didn't realize because I have just one child, so I give him a lot of attention, but I didn't even realize until after I quit my job, I was like, I still was missing stuff.
Mhm.
I still was missing moments. And again, we can't capture them all, but make the ones that we got,
Make them count.
make them
Mhm.
count. Because
Yeah,
we say, if you ask anybody, any mom that's a business owner or a professional, why they do what they do, the first thing they gonna say is for them kids.
that's right. That's who it's for.
So
That's who it's for.
if we working and breaking our back for these kids,
Mhm.
and they the main reason why we doing what we do, we owe it to them
That's right.
to be present when we're with them,
Yeah.
and all other areas of our lives as well. But I just, I think about that, like, they're not gonna remember that they're not gonna have heartfelt memories of you going to work.
No. They're just gonna know you was gone.
They
Always
just know
working.
you weren't with them at that time, and they cool
Yeah.
with that. That's not like a
Mhm.
a guilt thing or nothing like that. That's just it is reality. But they gonna remember when you were sitting with them and y'all laughed and joked, or
Mhm.
y'all baked cookies together, or y'all did whatever the thing y'all did together when you were together.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. And that's why it's so important to be intentional, to be mindful of the time that you spend with your kids and make sure it's well spent. Um and you that could spark a whole nother conversation about when you leave your profession and transition into a new season in your life professionally. Because again, I was early 20s when I was in hospitality, but I had my son um as well, my oldest son who just graduated from high school. And once I left, but see, I have three children.
Mhm.
So I have two that are younger and they're 9 and 10 now.
Mhm.
But that there's a difference, because when I was full-time leadership, my son was young, and when I transitioned out of that, I'm like, man, I mean, I have a lot more flexibility now, and I'm grateful for that, because I'm able to do more field trips with the younger
Right,
kids. I'm
right,
able to do more, and I we create our own field trips, especially from post COVID. That
right.
encouraged
Absolutely.
us to do more field trips because of all the big transitions that happened at that time. But we had to get out the house, so we kept that tradition going. Where we do things all the time, and as much as I can in between my schedule with them. But I always try to do different things with them to make sure that we creating those moments and those memories as they get older. But my oldest son, it was different because mama was working.
Right.
Listen, hospitality, that's a 24-hour operation.
No, and
Mama was working some long hours.
like
Long
I
hours.
said, look, I didn't always know, what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. So
I
being
didn't
intentional.
always know. It's more of one of those when you know better, do better sort of
Yeah.
things. As as parents, we figuring it out. Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing that I had to learn. I saw a meme somewhere where it was like, forgive your parents. They were figuring it out. And you
Mhm.
think about your parents all the time as being grown, like they was already grown when you came to this earth, but they really
Yeah.
weren't. They were still figuring out life, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, as parents, we're trying to do what we think is best to make sure
Right.
we're taking care of our kids. And I think that, at different seasons of life, at different, life situations, that's always going to look different.
Yeah.
And I am not I'm not a fan of mom guilt. People making
Mhm.
moms feel guilty for their choices.
Right.
Nobody is
Yeah.
going in thinking, how I could screw up these kids today. Like, nobody wakes
Absolutely
up
not.
thinking that. We all are
Right.
trying to do our very,
Yeah.
very best.
Yeah.
But that was one lesson that I learned that stuck with me. Once I learned it, really
Mhm.
stuck with me was, I can't always control how much time I have with him, but I can control how I handle that time
Yep.
and
That's right.
making sure
That's
that
what
that time is like
that's what matters.
focused. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I'm not, working, I'm not this, I'm not thinking about anything else during that time but what's happening in front of me.
Yes,
And, not just with him, with everything, but just that is if I'm gonna sit here and say, I'm doing everything for him, then I also gotta be connecting with him.
that's right. That's absolutely
And
right. That
and I
matters.
think that, like I've seen a lot of stuff, and like you said, we could do a whole nother topic on this, but I've seen a lot of stuff on social media lately where a lot of parents are, you know, having issues now that the children are grown
Mhm.
because they feel like I made all these sacrifices and you don't appreciate them. But then the kids are like, I could have just had your time.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what they care about. Essentially, that's what they care about. Their time that they spent with their parents. That's what's important to them. So I 100% understand that. Like that's what absolutely matters. Those times that you spend with them, because that's what they'll remember, and that's what they're gonna love. They're gonna try to create those same memories and moments with their children.
Right.
So, and that's the part, all of that matters throughout that entire process. So, I'm so happy you said that, because that's why even when I made the transition, I made sure, okay, what we doing with our time today? You know what I mean?
Right.
Even with the
Right.
oldest all the way to the youngest. So that all of that makes a big difference on those moments and what they can remember, because then that sets the foundation for them when they become a parent later
Right.
on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm gonna wrap up because I know we can talk and we gonna
Oh,
be here.
I know. I
We
know,
can
because I
we can talk, but that's okay. That just means you have to come back. That's all.
listen whenever you're ready.
That's
Whenever you're
all.
ready. I would love to come back.
But so I always ask the same three questions at the end of the episode. So I'm gonna ask you those questions and then we'll talk about what you're working on in your world and how people can get in touch with you. So
Okay.
the first question is, tell me about your favorite pair of pajamas.
So remember, I mean, I know we had this. Yes. So my favorite pajamas are the most comfortable ones. So if I'm being honest, yes, this one is cute, right? I like it, but the kind of pajamas are my favorite is the kind that my kids tell me it's time to throw them away.
Those are some of the best ones, though. My son calls them around the house clothes.
Yeah, okay, well, there we go. So yeah, that's the kind nobody else can see me except my babies.
Yeah, he calls it
That's
around
it.
the house clothes,
There
and
we go.
you know, he got his that
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
they should not leave the house. Let's just say.
I understand.
Like
Listen, I understand.
if they get snagged, that's it.
Listen, you know what? You making me go down memory lane. That sounds like my mother. Like when I was a child. Like, Francis, I'm going to throw this away. Like this
Right.
has
Like
to
it's
go. And I've carried on as an adult doing the same thing. It's
but
comfortable.
I mean, truth be told, those are the most comfortable. Like I have
Yes.
t-shirts from when like me and my husband been together since high school. So I've had t-shirts from when he was in high
I love
school.
that. I love
And
that.
those are like the most like
Comfortable.
again, they like probably one wash away from like just melting into the washing machine, but they're
Listen,
comfortable.
I understand. So you don't have you no convincing here. I'm with
They
you.
comfortable.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm with you. I
I
am
get it.
100% with you.
I get
So,
it.
mhm.
All right. So my time freedom allows me to.
My time freedom allows me to.
Mhm.
My time freedom allows me to be at, I'm gonna say joy. I mean, massage. Joy. I eat massage. So uh, that's easy for me. I mean, if
Yes.
I could do it every day, for the massage part, every day I would. get one.
I don't blame you. I do not blame
So
you. And I mean, I think people need to make it more a regular part of their routine.
another conversation that will last a lifetime with me. Okay.
Oh,
But yes,
I
you have
absolutely
to
know. I know that I wouldn't get any argument from you. But, look, let me
see.
shamelessly plug. Y'all got to do better. I know I'm off my schedule a little bit because I try to go at least once a month.
Okay.
Um, I have a lot of people that are in the balloon industry that are on here, but that's not the only industry that I feel like it's important for. But because that's a physical job,
Right. Yeah.
you need to make sure you taking care of your body so your
You
body will go
do.
longer.
Yes. It's like I like to use it is like all change to a car. Now we have electric cars now that's growing, but it's like an all change to a vehicle. Just how you have to keep the maintenance up on your car, you have to keep the maintenance up on your body. And
Yes.
a lot of times you don't even realize how much stress you're holding until you actually get the massage because you can feel the tension when you're getting a massage. I'm not saying you're getting, an aggressive, oh, I'm in pain. I mean, they have those type of deep tissue and stuff, but that's different. I'm saying just the normal everyday stress that a lot of us hold in our neck, shoulders, and back. And you can feel the release when you're getting a massage. Like a massage is a lot more than just luxury. It is truly a benefit to physically help you get through day to day, mentally and physically and emotionally. It's a connection. It
Yes.
is. So I'll just stop
All of
there.
that. Look, all of that. I agree with every little piece of it. No, it really is because like you said, you need to release it physically. You don't even realize it. There's like a little thing that comes on, like if you scroll on TikTok and they'll like be like, you've been on here too long, and they'll like tell you to breathe and do all this stuff. But like
Yeah.
you don't realize how you're holding stress in your body until
Yeah.
somebody addresses it.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
you might be sitting in a tense position and you don't even
Hmm.
realize it,
Yes. Yes.
because you're just so used to being in that position.
That's
So,
right.
oh
That's
my
right.
God, yes, you have to take care of your body
You
and then
do.
your mind. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna laugh at this, but years ago, this was like many, many years ago. This is when I was living grind culture life, right?
Okay.
I could not, like, if I would go get a massage, my brain would be sitting up there like going through my to-do list while I was like I couldn't shut my brain.
No, that's normal. That's
I couldn't
normal.
shut it off.
Yeah.
And like now I'm just like, wake me up when you finish. Like
That's when it was good, okay? But
you
that's when you really have like sometimes you have to train yourself to get there because that does not come naturally for everyone. Some people really have a hard time relaxing and sometimes it just takes others longer to get there. Like you'll find yourself in the beginning thinking about everything you possibly could think of, and you might be working in your mind, you might be scheduling something in your mind, things that you randomly was supposed to do a week ago, now it's popping up at the most inconvenient time. But that's our mind constantly works, so you have to be very intentional when you get a massage, especially if it's not easy for you to just relax, to breathe. It's a lot of breathing, and every time a thought comes, okay, take a deep breath. That's when you inhale deeply, hold it for about 10-20 seconds, and then you exhale. And your mind, you every time you're allowing space, you're removing some of those excess thoughts, to relax yourself. So and the therapist who you have should communicate that to you, but it's not out of the norm at all. Like so many people have a hard time just relaxing and just being in that moment. It's a challenge for a lot of people. So it's okay. That does not mean don't go. That is prioritizing
no,
self
no, you
care.
gotta, like, you work through it. You work
Yes,
through it. Like,
that's the mental side. That's
yeah, you
that's the
work
mental
through it,
side. The
but
thought.
that goes to show you like the level of which you need it. Because you know what I'm saying? Like if you like you said, a lot of people don't know how to relax. And even when you
Hmm.
said that, I was like, okay, so when you come back, that's what we're gonna talk about because I've
Mhm.
actually had a lot of people say that. Like,
Mhm.
even just with meditation, they can't meditate, even if it's for 5 minutes, they can't be still.
Yeah.
And
It's not easy.
it's not easy. It's a process,
Mhm.
especially when
It
we live in a world that is so go, go, go all of
Yeah,
the
it's fast
time.
paced. Yes,
And
it is.
so, just knowing, but that's all the more reason why you need all of these different
Yes,
types of relaxation
yes,
to
it's
start to
important.
train yourself.
Yes, it's important. Like as far as massage, that's the mental part. Like when we say the mental, the physical, like the full mind, body, spirit connection. Like we've heard that one most often. That's like the most people. If you connect massage, you'll hear mind, body, spirit. But the mind, that's what it's talking about because the mind is it's hard to shut it off, but it's hard to relax. And I don't want to say shut off. You can't shut off your mind.
No,
But
but
just
like
like
to
you can
just,
relax
like you said,
yourself to go to
relax.
sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same process. So like that's the mind being able to almost massage your thoughts in a way. And then the physical, like that's when you'll feel like when you start to get the massage in your neck, you're like, man, I didn't even know that hurt. Yeah, because you're so used to
If you
being on
got
that
used to
computer
it, yes.
the whole time, like you constantly in this same position. You've learned to live with it and you don't even recognize it. So when you start to release the tension in those areas through physical touch, you're like, oh my God,
Like, oh,
now I can move my neck. Yes.
like you like, oh, wait. This how it's
Exactly.
supposed to feel.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like that is my point. So it's I mean, people say, oh, I don't like massage, or I never had a massage, or I only get a massage when I vacation. At minimum once a month. And that's pushing it, but at minimum once a month.
Yeah, see, I don't understand that. Like, I'm like, so, yes, like you just need it. You need the reset. You need, your body needs to be reset and realigned. And like you said, sometimes you don't
Yeah.
even know pause be wrong with you. And then
Until you get on that table.
you like,
I
oh,
didn't even right.
all
And
right
then it's
then.
health benefits too. I mean, again, I can go on and on. It's so many benefits. I mean, you have so many different cancer patients that get massages because it helps them. It's so many different reasons why we can talk about why you should get a massage at least once a month. So if you haven't
Or
had a
just go.
massage yet,
Just go.
try
Just
it. Just
go.
try
Cause I'm a put Francis's information for those of y'all that's local. It's gonna be in the show notes. So,
it. Thank you. Yes. Come
just
see us.
go.
Just come see us. We would
Just
love to have you.
go.
Yes.
And I'ma say this too. Like, a lot of people, they're not gonna get this deep with it. Get you a regular person too.
Yes.
Consistency matters as well.
It does. It does. You definitely want when you find a massage therapist that you feel like, oh, I never thought I could feel like this before, stick with them. That's the one
Oh, Jesus.
that understands your body. Okay, from top to bottom. They can release all the kinks in the neck, the hands, the feet. Stick with them. Yes, that matters.
It matters. It matters.
It
I'm not gonna
does.
go to a place. I'm gonna keep it moving. Um, okay, so what is the best advice that you could give someone seeking the profits in pajamas lifestyle? So it may not be pajamas for them, it might be the beach, it might be, whatever it is where that's your place where you feel like, you know what, I've reached that balance.
The biggest advice is being intentional with finding joy.
Mm,
So, and what that means is every day is a new start, right? You get a new reset button every single day. So every day I'm going to be intentional with identifying what joy looks like for me
yes,
or for yourself.
yes. I love that. I love that.
Hmm. Yes.
Absolutely love it. All right, so tell people how they can get in touch with you. What do you have going on right now that you want everybody to know about?
So to get in touch with us, our website is posmassage.com. So that's P for peace, O of S serenity massage.com. So posmassage.com. So they can go to our website. We're on Facebook, Peace of Serenity Massage and Wellness, Instagram, POS Massage, LinkedIn, POS Massage. I'm on TikTok as well, POS Massage. It's all POS Massage. That's how you can find us. As far as what we have going on, like so now we offer a lot of workplace events. So if someone wanted to offer employee appreciation to their staff, that's something that we do. We go to businesses and we offer wellness massage therapy as a wellness benefit. So we have businesses that hire us on to service their staff on a quarterly basis, or some of them when they're celebrating something. And then also if you have an event and you wanted to curate a relaxation station, that's something else that we offer as well. So we curate a full wellness lounge. That's what it's
Okay.
called. And
Okay.
some events, you have women who have their face all done, so they don't want to put their face in a massage chair. So we have the massage bar where you can sit at the
Ah,
massage bar. You can get your hands and arms and shoulders massage where it won't affect that beautiful face. So yes. And then we also do retreats. I'm forgetting about that. We also offer our retreats. So let's say a business wanted to offer retreats to their staff, or a group of friends wanted to do a retreat. That's something that we curate and create those experiences for you as well. So yeah, that's what we have going
awesome.
on. Hmm.
Like right up my
There we go. There we go.
So
Yes.
thanks for sharing all that. And of course, I'm going to put all of your contact information in the show notes so that people can get in touch with you. Um, yes, for yourself, for your business, for your girlfriends, you coming in town. Because I know we have a lot of listeners all over the place. Some of y'all might be coming in town for Essence. You might want pre-book something for you and your girls so y'all
And
can
yep.
get y'all
Yes.
relaxation on.
And we come to them as well. So if let's say they wanted us to come to their room, if it's like two women, we have therapists that offer those on-site services as well.
See, there you go. You and your girlfriend, y'all could get y'all a little relaxation before you hit these hot, hot streets of
There
New
we go. Of
Orleans
New
for
Orleans.
for,
Yes.
for Essence Festival. You need a little
Mhm.
relaxation after
You will.
after
You
that
will.
summer heat.
For
Um,
sure. For sure. It's hot. It gets hot.
it's
It gets real
it's hot.
hot.
Stay hydrated.
Please. Please come prepared
Because a
with your
lot of
water
look, a
bottle.
lot of times when y'all coming from these cold environments, y'all don't realize
They don't be ready for that. That
what weather
moisture in the
is
air is
like.
different. Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I just recently learned that it's still like in March and all of this other stuff, it still be snowing in some of these other places. I'm like, we already at 80.
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Waiting for them to catch up. Yeah.
yeah, I need y'all to get with the program.
Please be prepared.
Be prepared. Be prepared. Hydrate.
Yes.
Um But it was a pleasure to have you on, Francis. I love talking with you. We're gonna have to do it again because
Yes.
I have some more
I
stuff I gotta talk
know.
about.
Yes.
So we will have to do it again, but I appreciate talking to you about some of my favorite things, which is
Yeah.
balance and joy. And yeah, it just was a
Mhm.
great conversation. So thank you for being here.
No, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. I definitely could do this again. I look forward to it. I do.
All right, you guys, I will wrap up and I will see you guys next week. Just what's going on in the world of workflow. The calendar detox challenge is going to be starting on June 1st. So if you haven't enrolled, I'll have the link in the bio for that. Frances talked about how she loves journals. If you don't have your success journal, please get a copy of your success journal. That link will also be in the show notes. Um, I'm trying to think of anything else that I have going on to share with you guys. If I remember something I didn't say, it's going to be in the show notes as well. So, y'all have a great week, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at CoachDanniD.com.